Hello, Fodder. I am here at Crampton Otter.
Camp Granada, dear.
Whatever. You say Granada? I say Granada. Eh.
Hunting rifle. Well, okay then.
Were those bullets? Not there.
Nope. Bricks.
Bricks. Okay.
Yeah, mostly what you missed was my panicked flailing, as that thing was like right in front of me when it went active.
Oh, holy fuck! Help me! I am dead. Okay, now that was weird.
It was partially embedded in the wall. Pretty sure that's not how it's supposed to work.
I'm pretty sure that that's not normal.
What the hell? Oh, there was one behind me and it set everything on fucking fire.
You know, Gage, I think we have different definitions of what is fun.
Gage, I was on fucking fire.
Close pronunciation only counts in horseshoes and hangarades. Seriously, Gage, you're weird. Because what you consider fun.
What he considers fun is me getting shot.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Which, you know, I'm not a fan of.
Me neither.
You need me to carry something. Say the word.
Never been shot, I'm okay if I never am.
I agree with that. Probably better not to be. Got enough Protectron knockoffs? Oh, these are upgraded near Tektrons.
Okay, so this just kind of wanders off in here.
Dark bunker. Your colony will feature beautiful, expansive commons where you can relax in an Earth-like setting.
So,
Ooh.
here's the question. Nobody in here is alive.
Mm-hmm.
Leads to a question. Did...
That's it.
Okay, so everybody in here is dead. Wonder glue. Oh, nice.
Mm-hmm. So, your question?
Ah, yes. So did they not get the vault closed?
I don't think they did. I think there's drugs going on in here. Oh no, that was my psycho wearing off. Maybe.
Well, no, I think that the fuzzies that went on around your vision, that was probably definitely.
Ooh, another
Stars.
star core.
Gonna shoot for the star core. Ooh, check that. But Jingles the Moon Monkey is alive, though. He's real and strong and my friend.
Oh, another dead body.
With another
Control
room
room
key.
Oh, this is the project lead's office.
Before you sit down at that, turn around behind you. Saw something shining.
Civilian employees
To
are
the
starting to
left.
experience extreme headaches similar
Oh, it's a
to
circuit board.
previous.
Okay. Never mind.
Luckily, the associated depression has not surfaced, so suicides aren't expected to be an issue yet. The increase in subliminal messaging frequency continues to have little to no effect on many visitors. But the speed at which the park staff was affected does show that some level of success has been achieved.
Oh,
I
they thought they were
recommend
the
moving
experimenters.
forward with the audio tours for the next
They were
project.
the experiments.
Perhaps a higher frequency frequency of messaging fed directly into a consumer who can focus will be more effective.
Oh, he wasn't wrong.
Experiment 1. Brainwave disruption. Use of radiation scrubbers to emit an electromagnetic field that causes interference in the brainwave patterns of human subjects.
Minor loss of motor control, temporary stupor, and mindfulness or forgetfulness.
Experiment 2. Subliminal suggestion. Acceptance of suggestions causing subjects to perform involuntary actions. Headaches, depression, or other phenomena resulting from neurochemical release. Hypnotic pheromones. Use of genetic modification on flora to release a pheromone-like airborne toxin which will be inhaled while passing by the emitters. Loss of independent thought, minor addiction, and susceptibility to suggestion.
So here's the question: which one of these was the guy who murdered his coworker?
I'm going to say subliminal.
I think the first one then.
Yeah. Okay, theta radiation. We talked about that one. And long-term testing. Use of experiments 1 to 4 on Hodgson, Grunner, Dallas, Bartleby, and Langston. Varies by experiments. So I think they were doing different experiments on each person.
Spacious private suite, equipped with all the comforts of home.
Is this the entrance?
And these are no dark bunkers.
Okay.
Your colony will feature beautiful, expansive common areas where you can relax.
Make sure we didn't miss anything.
It's modular colony will be established world in a matter of weeks.
It's Mr. Handy Grifter. I mean, right.
See, the nice thing about this one is when it turns off the robots, you can still attack them. Astronaut animatronic.
Ooh, you could take the spacesuit.
I can. And that's a dead end.
Okay, no, there's some kind of hallucinogen.
But life is possible underground. Welcome to Arcturus Prime. Baked by the unrelenting sun, life on the surface of this world. Join us on a journey into the future.
Okay.
Set out on a new voyage of discovery, seeking adventure.
Did you go backwards on that one?
Somehow I might have.
It happens.
Okay.
Red roach meat. Delicious.
Always a question of how that ends up in a,
Lunchbox?
yeah.
Whole idea of these vaults was messed up. Sure.
Okay.
No control ring.
What could possibly go wrong? Well... You're taking... Why are you taking all these spacesuits?
Because I know I will need them. The exhibits are really crazy when you actually look at them. And if you're actually like going through these, you'll be like, you know, this is actually pretty cool.
Well, it's kind of like seeing a diorama from the ground up. Also, what's on the floor directly at your feet?
Just a piece of metal. Military grade circuit board. I already grabbed the star core.
Well, no, I thought there was something closer to the door.
Nope.
Oh, my bad then.
Okay.
I mean, these are some interesting exhibits.
Underground. Welcome to Vault. With Vault-Tech's modular construction techniques, new colonies can be established on almost
Oh, they weren't thinking small.
a matter of weeks.
What?
They weren't thinking small.
It's Vault Tech. And they can only keep, you know, modularly create new things if they have, you know, it dug out already.
Hmm. So, okay.
It's the
These are
chronic
no
issue.
dark bunkers. Your colony will feature beautiful, expansive common areas where you can relax.
Love how many of these sliding doors just went to nothing.
Step
Okay.
into a spacious private suite, equipped with all the comforts of home.
Now we can go in here.
Shit trying to kill me. I don't need to do it to myself with radiation. Let's move out.
Vault-Tec has really been accused of limiting their scientific vision. Not Potter. You know,
It's true.
It's true enough.
They don't care about ethics, feasibility, or anything like that.
Well, it's kind of like if you had the ethics level of, you know, biology or anatomy back when you had to still steal corpses.
Mm-hmm.
And you didn't care about children back when you could have children laborers
Thrilling.
because they had small hands.
Hundreds of colonies spread throughout the
And well, it's kind of like a combination of those things
enjoy a rich,
for
varied diet.
Vault-Tec. Vault-Tec, they have sprayers. Can you shoot that sprayer?
It's right there.
Just smell freshness.
This is insanity. But hey, carrots.
And fertilizer.
Mm-hmm. So let's see.
Do this all day.
You know those that fertilizer probably has some kind of hallucinogens in it.
Yeah, it's probably the reason why every now and then you sit there and you're like,
You
whoa.
can rest assured that your colony will have the resources to face any challenge.
So, what are you going to put... Who are you going to give these spacesuits to?
The hubologists. Remember that was part of it.
That's it.
Oh, okay. Hey. Okay, there was a trader with some missiles. I'll take some missiles.
A thrilling new adventure awaits. Imagine hundreds of colonies spread throughout the galaxy and beyond.
Well, there's, you know, the era of... Grandfather says the era of resurrectionists, learning anatomy through vivisection. Must have been an exciting time to be a mad scientist. Why is it then? It must be true, because why else would you sit there and set every fucking mad scientist back at that time?
True. I mean, I can imagine, you know, the thrill of grave robbing. Are you going to get caught? Are they going to set the dogs on you?
Are they going to set the police on you? Not only that, then you sit there and you get the body, and you can sit there and, you know, dismember it or what have you, and you can sit there and cut.
Okay, now you're scaring me.
And then you sit there and you have some. Then there's the other issues. You know, like, you know, back in the 60s and 70s when they sat there and they did psychological testing that without your consent.
Upper level.
Or any of the times when they sat there and would have like forced sterilization and such without consent. You know, humans are weird.
Yeah. Okay, so now we are...
But yeah, there's a
back.
reason why they don't try to put, you know, Frankenstein in today, and people are just gonna be like, yeah, so
Yeah, it's not that weird.
it's not that weird because it's like, yeah, so you know they figured out the neurological aspects of it. Well, that's kind of neat. You put it back about 110 years, or you know 120 years, and all of a sudden it's like it's mad science.
You love that.
I do. Someone willing to do this must be a maniac.
Just a little bit.
A little bit.
A little bit of mania.
So I mean,
Excuse me.
but yeah. So I mean, that's Yeah, that's my view on that. Which is kind of funny.
I see the thoughts going around in your brain. Nancy is eyeing up a Buffalo Wild Wings menu right now. I don't think that's a terrible thing. Let's see.
They sent me an email. I had to at least read it. Our mad science nowadays is boring stuff like designing fetuses and death robot AIs. Although, you know something, they did create an artificial womb, but here's the caveat with it. They never intend to use it. They intend to use it on... Eventually, they used it first on lambs. But to take premature fetuses that are before 26 weeks and get them up to like 27 or 28. Because that's like the point where you have a higher probability of survivability. But they never intended to make it go further back, and they never intended to bring it all the way up to 40 weeks. And I just sat there and I'm like, you know, to some degree I think that's short-sighted because, you know...
Turrets or assaultrons?
Turrets. You can usually get the jump on assaultrons. But then assaultrons are usually worth more experience.
True. Okay.
Okay. But yeah. So, you know, I think in some ways that's kind of short-sighted because gosh, wouldn't it be great if you could have however many kids you want or can afford without actually having to carry them? Yeah, I know, I said that.
And I am in agreement.
Hey, guess what? You wouldn't have to worry about gestational diabetes, preeclampsia. Those are just the two first things that pop into my mind. Hypertension, hypotension, because you can get either one of them. Hypoglycemia, hyperglycemia, or any of the other things that can happen when you're, you know, and less chance of dying.
And most people don't want to die.
Well, you know, some people view it as women are supposed to and have pregnancies so that they can be punished. Well, no thanks. I don't get this whole punishment thing like that.
Hey, we can craft a Nuka mixer.
Ooh.
I call dibs on whatever that's going to be. I like it. Can make a Nuka Elixir, which is Medex, Nuka-Cola, and Nuka-Cola Orange. She gives us HP, damage resistance, and rad resistance.
Nice.
So let's see. What does this lead into? Okay, this is another interesting vault take among the stars.
Of course, then again, our mad science is, well, to some degree, consented science. Like, you can't sit there and force somebody to do your science, and, beer before elixirs, never been sixers. I don't know how many people have had a six-way.
Okay.
I assumed it was something like that. I don't know.
I don't even.
Hey, I'm just rolling with this here.
So we're going into the Interstellar Theater.
Ooh. I always like the theater.
If only they have a...
That's a Sentrybot.
Probably.
I hear bombs.
I can handle that.
Oh, okay, missiles. Missiles.
That's the star tender.
I think you mean it's the start ender.
That's right, Gage. You keep him distracted. Oh, shit! Hey, well, you know, we win. I did not think he could fit through that door.
See,
And today we learned something. Ooh,
that
Sentry
he still had
space
10
legs.
missiles?
Yeah, but also I just got Sentry legs.
Oh, you can finally improve Cogsworth.
Yep.
I'm sorry, Cogsworth. Not Cogsworth. Cogsworth is a talking clock.
Who does not need any improvement because he is great just the way he is.
Unlike those discount Lumieres on your on Tales of Berseria.
Psh, screw those guys. Ooh, Sarkor. I'm okay with the Anne Hathaway part of that equation.
You know, entertaining things. So,
Hell yeah.
so somebody shared something on Facebook talking. I don't even remember exactly what it was about, but it had a guy who I swear to God looked like Matthew McConaughey with a really bad haircut, like worse than his usual haircut.
And that's saying something.
That's saying something. Well, because it wasn't the shaggy haircut; it was like a slicked back. What was that guy on the? Hold on a minute. In the Trump administration, there's a guy who's young-ish. He's about our age. He's in his 30s. And he has like a slick back hairstyle, kind of like Richard Spencer's.
No clue.
I can't remember what the hell his name is. Well, he had like that slick back hairstyle, but it was like bright white blonde, and it looked like he had a receding hairline and thin hair and everything. It just looked really bad, and it was all like slick back and everything. Anyway, no, there was a person with a picture of the...
Same reaction I was having.
Damn, that is foul.
How many cans of pork and beans was that?
Like 4.
5? Wait a minute. No, look again. That was 6. That's even worse. No, it wasn't one of the Trump sons, American Psycho Trump sons, but it was,
Got it.
he had like the face of,
Trey Gowdy, maybe?
maybe that's, hold on.
I see 5 cans.
Wait, down. 1, 2, okay, 5. I thought I saw a 6th one. Yes, that's who it was. But in the picture, in the particular picture, he had like Matthew McConaughey's face, but this like just terrible hair. And I was like, did somebody actually like crop this guy's hair on Matthew McConaughey? Because that's just cruel.
It is.
Even to Matthew McConaughey, that is just that's fucking cruel.
We have a different bar of cruelty from Matthew McConaughey and everybody else.
Well, you know something? Matthew McConaughey has at least made a few good movies and has played some decent roles that weren't the surfer dude who's like, hey, and everything. So yeah, but yeah, so it was... How did you pull that name? Trey Gowdy.
Because he was floated as the possible new head of the FBI.
Oh, okay, that's probably why then. But yeah, so Trey Gowdy, it was a picture of Trey Gowdy, but the particular one was set up in such a way that it looked like Matthew McConaughey with a terrible haircut. And I was just like, why would somebody do this to Matthew McConaughey? I mean, he's not my favorite actor, but for God's sakes, that's just cruel and unusual punishment. So yeah. It was a thing. And that just reminded me of it. course, then again,
Nice.
I look at anybody who's sporting the slick back look that the Trump sons have.
Mm-hmm.
And I just sit there and I look at you and I'm like,
That's like a middle
would you
school.
like me? Well, no, there's two things. First of all, yeah, you're right. It is kind of a middle school style. It's what mom does to you when you're in like 6th grade and, you know, you have, you know, school pictures and she sits there and she slicks your hair back for you and everything like that and gels it or whatever. It's totally a mom do. But it gets a little worse because I always think they're kind of slimy. It's like the inverse of like dreadlocks. When you see somebody with like, when I see a white person with dreadlocks, I think unclean. I don't always think the same thing of somebody who's like African American or African wearing dreadlocks, because their hair is different.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so it acts in a different manner than what I'm used to my hair acting like. But when I see a white guy wearing nasty ass dreadlocks, I just sit there and I'm like, oh my god, this guy has not showered in forever. And I'm just, part of me is dying inside. I don't want to be around it because I'm afraid of what's going to crawl out of it. And that's my own personal thing, like my issue with hygiene.
Mm-hmm.
Right there.
Hygiene is not
Hygiene,
a greeting.
kind of important. It's not hygiene. It's not a greeting. So yeah, that's kind of a thing. And I had a friend who used to wear dreadlocks. I was just like, man, I just don't care for that. I'm like, it just
Did not work.
it's just not a good do. Sorry, man, it's just not a good do for you. And he was like, well, that's cool. I'm like,
Up. Protectron commencing.
anyway, I guess that says more about me than other people, but you know, whatever. But yeah, so when I see their hair, it does remind me of like 6th grade mom do, but it also reminds me of like you're trying to be a slick agent.
Sweet.
You know, when you have your hair slicked back like that, you're trying to be like, I'm James Bond kind of thing. Like, you would think you're the...
Which James Bond would not be caught dead.
James Bond would not be caught dead with that. I mean, James Bond would sit there and look at you and start laughing if he saw you with that hairstyle. I'd be like, what the hell is wrong with you? You get your mom catch hold of you and sit there and like lick her hand and slick it back. That would probably be his thing.
Ooh.
But yeah, that's... You know, I always sit there and I just look at that and I'm like, you slimy, smarmy son of a bitch.
Yeah.
You know, I sit there and I see that hairstyle and I immediately know, I can't fucking trust you worth shit.
Yep. So, okay, October 2077, Halloween's coming up, and that means it's Sci-Fi Horror Madness Month in the theater.
Horror madness.
Make sure the following hollows are loaded and ready for the first showing in October. Week 1, The Beast with a Trillion Eyes, Death Comes Singing, The Chartreuse Slime, The Slime Eating, Yikes, There's Blood Everywhere.
Yikes, there's blood everywhere.
Week 2, Nuka Monster, Atom Bum.
That sounds like it is totally about pornography.
The Chartreuse
Atom.
Slime 2, Slime to Die, Gra, the sequel. Week 3, The Insects Ate My Baby.
My husband the Mutant, The Chartreuse Slime 3, Slime Doesn't Pay.
Night of the Fishman's Revenge.
You know,
Week 4, Nuka Valley Massacre, The Bomb Strikes at Midnight, The Chartreuse Slime 4, War Slimes, Armageddon-orama. Memo from management. I want all of you lazy jerks to get off your butts and clean the theater after each and every showing. I came into the theater this morning and several of the rocket pods were filled with trash. Nuka World doesn't pay you clowns to watch movies all day, they pay you to work. Maybe you noticed the bartender breaking glasses again, please let management know. We've spent thousands of dollars on glassware in the last few months. Ever since the geniuses running the park decided to have a robot with no hands mixing drinks. I'd also recommend not getting it angry. Whether you trust this whole star control system or not, its AI is still acting a bit aggressive and we don't want any more accidents.
Going down.
Down in an elevator.
Main floor.
Oh. Hey, Gage. What's up? So let's see. We need to go to the men's room.
that's your own business.
Oi! Falcon! So let's see. There's 2. There's a dead trader's body in here somewhere. Military circuit board, military... Oh, okay.
Wait, not one of those movies in 2014's hits. Is 2014's hit Interstellar. You know, for such a high-regarded movie from 2014, I don't think we ever watched it.
Nope. Oh, there we go. That's what I was looking for.
What, a tomato?
Yes, and a star core.
Or a tato?
And we'll take the Tato, why not?
Not like he's gonna miss it.
So, okay, we've done star control.
How many do you have now?
Over 20 now. So we can actually get things back up to basic functionality.
Without everything wanting to kill you. Everything. There's still gonna be things. Oh, Rascal seems to have come out of the out of hiding from the thunder.
We haven't had any thunder in a bit.
I know, but this is the first time I've seen him out.
Yes, our oldest male cat, who is, what, 9 this year?
He's 9. He's gonna be 9 this year.
Yes, he is a scaredy cat who is terrified of thunderstorms. He hides under our recliner every time there's a thunderstorm.
On the other hand, we had maintenance come by the other day, yesterday, and fix our dishwasher because the dishwasher stopped working. Found out that it had somehow gotten unplugged because of the way they have everything set up under the sink, and the maintenance guy came in, and Freddie and Alex both bolted, and Freddie ended up in our bedroom in the window crying, and wouldn't let anyone touch him until the maintenance man left. At which point he stayed in the window for about another 2 hours. Because he's terrified of people that he doesn't know.
Yeah. I mean, nothing's ever going to top the time that...
Ooh, there's a holotape.
Yeah, there is. Nothing's ever going to top the time when we sat there and... We'll get to that in a second, Grandfather. Yeah, nothing's going to top the time when the pizza delivery person came by and rang the doorbell. And Freddie ran upstairs into our... Okay, yes.
Of course, they got soda all over the exposed hardware. The Nucatron lurched and pointed its nozzle right at one of the boys. I thought for sure he triggered the military protocol, and we were all dead. Turns out Star Control sensed the glitch, so we never had to find out. It shut down the Nucatron itself. God, I was so relieved. I still think having armed robots in the park is insane. As far as I'm concerned, this Star Control's the real deal.
But anyway, so we...
Well, finish the whole story about him. He bolts upstairs
He bolts into our bathroom, runs into the shower, into the tub, and takes a giant shit just in the shower.
Took a giant dump in the shower.
like a terror shit. So for the rest of the time we were there, whenever we ordered pizza, we had a note in there saying, "Please do not ring doorbell.
Please knock. Just please knock.
Don't ring doorbell.
Do not ring the doorbell." Because it literally scared the shit out of one of our cats.
Yeah. And yes, Grandfather, it was the "Is it plugged in?" service call.
Well, okay, wait a minute. Here's the thing. It stopped working on Sunday, right? And, I was like, well, maybe it triggered the breaker. So I went down and checked the breaker, flipped it. It didn't do anything. And I'm like, well, you know something? I know that they have multiple ways that they can hook these up. Sometimes they'll have the electrical hookup directly behind the dishwasher, and sometimes they'll have it underneath the sink, which I think underneath the sink is just a stupid place anyway, because, if it springs a leak or something breaks and it starts dripping, it could short out that entire...
The whole thing.
So, but I'm like, I'm not going to fucking pull out
A dishwasher.
a dishwasher to try to figure this out. That's not my job. It's far beyond my pay grade on this. And so I'm like, I'm not fucking with it any further than this. Let's just put in a work order. And they came by and they checked it, and it happened to be that it was not plugged in, and everything was fine. And what had happened was they had it set up so that our extendable handle on our sink, so we can actually,
yeah, you can pull it out.
They have it weighted, and that's fine. But the way they had it set up was so that it was set up in such a way that the electrical hookup was wrapped around the nozzle for the sink.
Yep.
Or the line for the sink. So when we pulled the sink, we unplugged it. I'm like, well, I'm like, I would rather have an expert come in here because it's not going to cost us anything.
Yeah.
And have them sit there and say that this is what it is rather than me try to figure it out because fuck it.
Yeah. So yes, that was what happened there basically. So we'll go ahead and do a quick save.